Stage 15 of the Dakar 2001, the stage from Tchit to Neymar. The spectacular scenery will include the Mountain of Elephant Erg. Fabrizio Mioni on his KTM continues to lead in the two-wheeled category. Whilst in the cars, Carlos Souza ran into trouble, and his third place overall is very, very susceptible. Yesterday was camel grass, and after that, a few bugs as well. Some people liked the camel grass, other people got caught out in the soft sand, but everybody made it through. Today's stage from Tchit to Neymar, exactly the same stage as that in 1999, except run in the opposite direction. The NG Pass, the Hold Rocks and the Mountain of Elephant Erg are just some of the highlights. A relatively slow and tough stage that is nevertheless magnificent. And of course, competitors will need to conserve their energy for the two long stages to come. Sunrise this morning at 14 minutes past 7. And immediately out of the bivouac, it was first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth gears, and flat out all the way. Kari Tiernan, the flying Finn on KTM number 7. He won his first stage 3 days ago. He won his second yesterday, and today he's won his third. You wait for a bus, and they certainly all do come along at the same time. Tiernan, though, well down overall. He is some 21.5 hours behind the leaders. Therefore, he has been let loose, and he can do exactly as he wishes on his Austrian single-cylinder machine and just go for the wins. And certainly they have been coming what looks as if they have been coming at least relatively easily. Tiernan, victorious for the third time today. But second, leading the group of other KTMs who rode the stage together, was Esteve Pujol. Pujol, get this, some 42.5 minutes behind Tiernan. Such is the pace of the remaining 6 KTMs that have been riding together. I repeat that, 42 minutes behind, even though he ran into trouble now and again. The camel grass tumps catching him out, but he was soon back on his feet and able to be second today. Nasty falls for some other people, but luckily some getting away with it. That sand really is that soft. However, catching some people really where it hurts. This is Paulo Marques, the Portuguese rider, off his Honda. It hurt so much, he was prepared to go without a drink. Sometimes just go straight through you. So after the troubles of people further down, up at the front, South Africa's Alfie Cox. Well, he was third today, but riding very, very within himself indeed. The whole KTM staying as a group. Of course, they really do have to conserve their top 5 positions in the overall standings, and what a result that would be for the Austrian manufacturer come Dakar in a few days' time. Here we have Jean Brucy saying, he says, where is the Rosbiff? Of course, he talking about John Deacon, the French name for the English. John Deacon, you say, was behind him. And here indeed is John Deacon, the roast beef indeed. 8th position for him, the leading BMW on today's stage, some 50 minutes back of the winner. However, Deacon not without his frustrations. He lost his seat quite early on, and he had to go back and find it. He lost 10 minutes going back, and of course 8 or 9 positions on the road. He found it hard to read past the people that had already passed him whilst he was mending the seat. But at least John knew the route today, and all he can hope for is a bad day with KTM. It may well happen, but at least Deacon still can be the first BMW back to Dakar. He needs to find another 3 minutes on Jimmy Lewis. PG Lundmark going flat out as ever.
Well, the tracks today,
Here's
now we're riding
Lawrence
on
Hacking.
the fairly easy part here, which is going to be, I think, one of the easiest parts, because I expect it to get quite a bit more difficult in the camel grass and in the soft sand. So my goal today is to just ride safely and conserve energy, of course, because I know it's going to be a long, long day.
Lawrence Hacking, a true amateur from Ontario in Canada, riding very, very well indeed. Other people in the Yakko class looking very second-hand, but Lawrence looking very fresh and sprightly. Jimmy Lewis and Johnny Campbell. Lewis having a good day in 11th, but Johnny Campbell losing time down in 20th position with a problem that cost him 1 hour and 41 minutes. Spectacular scenery on the Mountain of Elephants Pass, and you can see exactly why. Fabrizio Mioni, the leader overall in the motorcycle class of the Dakar, leading now by 22 minutes and 43 seconds, and all his teammates were there to help him in case anything happened. It was a KTM clean sweep today on the stage, the top 7 positions being taken by the orange and silver team. Mioni just saying he doesn't want to win a stage this year. From now on to Dakar, he just wants to win it overall. There's the stage. 3 in a row for Tiernan. Esteve Pujol second. Cox, De Gavado and Mioni. Look how close 2nd to 5th were. All of the KTMs riding to team orders. Therefore, the overall stays pretty well as it was. Mioni, Arcarons, De Gavado, Esteve Pujol and Cox.
It was a very nice stage. Sand and stone all the way, and you know, same as yesterday and the same as the day before. There's no changes, so I have nothing more to say.
Can you tell us about your strategy or strategy of KTM for the future?
I'm not sure. You have to ask the manager.
No sé,
A little bit of
porque cada
controversy with
día
KTM,
es
but
una
Archeron's here saying the
táctica,
strategy for
una
KTM
reunión
is
en
to
el
take
equipo
it
y
quietly.
entonces
Every day we have a
que
meeting
hay que saber cada
and
día
we
qué pasa,
know
¿no?
what we
Pero
have to
me
do.
imagino que en
I think
principio
we are going to continue
hay
until
que
Dakar because
seguir en esta línea
KTM
porque
has no interest to
KTM no tiene
start
ninguna
a war
necesidad de que los
between
pilotos hagamos
the
la guerra por
riders.
nuestra cuenta. Y hay que obedecer las órdenes.
We have to obey that. Jean Brucey here. Every night after a briefing, we have a separate briefing with KTM after a briefing of the organisers. The orders come directly from Austria. We don't have to discuss anything. We are here to do as we're told.
C'est pour ça que vous nous voyez assurés depuis 2 jours déjà, vraiment, on assure le coup.
This is Japanese technology.
So the car's getting underway after the motorcycles from Tajit this morning on their 499-kilometre Blatt down to Neymar. Hiroshi Mashioka's Mitsubishi Pajero, a slightly older specification reportedly than those of his teammates, but if it ain't broke, you don't mend it. Mashioka, quickest on the stage today, 6¼ hours from start to finish for the Japanese driver. And he was 4 minutes 21 seconds ahead of the two-time winner, Schlesser. On-board microphone in the engine bay. Schlesser arriving at one of the control points. And remember, the clock is still ticking. All you have to do is get your time card stamped. And Jean-Louis doesn't even stop. Mashioka coming to a halt just about. And off they go. The two of them then running together for the first third of the stage or so. But then Mashioka ran into problems. Thought it though by the time he got to the finish to be quicker than Schless. Having a problem with a punctured rear right. Schlesser then blatting past. Was it a stage for the 4x4s over the two-wheel drives? Third position overall, Carlos Sousa from Portugal in the longer wheelbase Mitsubishi to that of Mashioka, Kleinschmidt, Fontenay et al. But Sousa running into problems and losing time today. Indeed, he lost 25¼ minutes, which puts his overall third place in a great deal of doubt. He is within ½ minute of Jutta Kleinschmidt. Kleinschmidt behind Sousa, so Kleinschmidt could go for third between now and Dakar. Of Elephants Erg. You can see exactly why. Jutta Kleinschmidt had no time to look at it though. She was a further 5 minutes behind Servia today. Kleinschmidt arriving at the finish with barely a bead of sweat on her face. How do these drivers do it? We're on stage 15 of the Dakar, and leaving the Eiffel Tower in amongst the rain seems a very, very long time ago for many of these crews. Physical limitations being reached by not only the humans but also the cars, with Servia in trouble, although he was third today, losing 8.5 minutes, losing a bit of the bodywork, but you can see how aerodynamic that bodywork is. There's just nothing there. Jean-Pierre Fontenay, 5th today, 6th overall. On board with Fontenay, says the next few days will be harder for the humans over the cars. The temperatures will rise and there will be more dust. It'll be...
Pour l'instant, il débrouille très bien tout seul depuis le début du rallye, alors j'espère pour lui ça va continuer.
He continues to say that he's here to work for Mashioka. I'll help him, and I'll do anything I can to do what I can for Mitsubishi. He's been going well since the start, keeping out of trouble, but you need luck to win the Dakar. Now my only aim is for Mitsubishi and to help Hiroshi. Is 7th overall, Stefan Orad is 8th overall in his diesel Volkswagen VW. So Mashioka from Schlesser, Souza 3rd, Kleinschmidt 4th, Servia 5th, Fontenay 6th, Dilleverne 7th, Orad in 8th, Gregoire de Mavius in 9th overall. The battle between the two Belgians, Onrad and de Mavius. Onrad has the advantage just for the time being. The Italian Gianni Laura in his Nissan, the Italian saying that he will find it harder over the next few days as the temperature rises just before we get to Dakar. There'll be a little more dust, but it'll be easier on the engines. Tomorrow we turn the page of the desert to arrive in the African bush with the trees and the straight roads. It's very hot in the car, and our consumption of water is extremely important. We have to drink and eat very often. If not, we'll run into some serious problems.
Di continuare ad alimentarci in modo corretto, perché diversamente si possono avere dei cali improvvisi che
winning even with a puncture today, 4 minutes and 21 seconds ahead of Schless, Servia, Kleinschmidt and Fontenay. All the Mitsubishis working towards Mashioka's lead, which is now 38 minutes and 20 seconds. Schlesser, he's driving as hard as he can. Schlesser here saying it's incredible. Mashioka caught us after 200 kilometers, and after that we raced together. I overtook him just before the finish, but he took 5 minutes out of me today. I can't fight with him. I think that his car is better than mine.
Non, je suis premier, attends, il arrive. Hein. Il nous met 5 minutes là. So today was last desert stage. So, and today the 500 kilometer special stage. Also, long stage is finished. So we did with the push today. So 3 times Shrestha with together. Some deal fighting. Very interesting.
Carlos Sousa here saying we broke something on a big stone. And the whole chassis moved around, but I could drive it. In the last few kilometers, it began to come undrivable, but I'm happy because we're here. I thought I was really going to retire today at one point. The camel grass is not our favourite surface, says Carlos Sousa. You've heard us go on and on about the stuff, and this is what it is. Small tumps of the stuff with a lot of sand based around its roots. Sometimes you get stuck on it, as Jutta Kleinschmidt found the other day.
The camel grass is so hard. You hit that thing, boy, you feel it. The whole car shakes.
Au contraire, moi je trouve ça plutôt doux.
Non molto.
And likewise, the motorcycles don't get on with it. What have the riders got to say about the stuff?
So I struggle in the camel grass.
No, non la amo.
John Deacon knows all about it. He fell yesterday a couple of times.
I hope I never see it again in my life, you know. I hate it. Camel grass is horrible.
Il se trouve que depuis quelques années,
Zanaroli, the guy made the route, saying for a few years it has rained here and this grass is going to continue to grow. I know it's not great for the drivers, but the route is set 6 months before we arrive. But the good thing is it's raining here in Africa. Trucks continuing on with their enormity and going alongside the mountain of Elephants Erg will be a fitting view. Still leading Loprace, Kalina and Hamaria in their Tatra, number 425. They were victorious on the stage yesterday by over 8.5 minutes over the Hino of Sugawara Suzuki and Sugawara T, as opposed to Sugawara Y, who is driving. Overall, Loprace leads by 6 hours ahead of Sugawara, who is likewise 3 hours ahead of Ursino. A Tatra in first, and a couple of Hinos second and third. Some trucks running into problems, as we saw with KTM, others getting well airborne. Believe me, these things accelerate off the line. Stage 16 of the Dakar taking place tomorrow from Nema to Bamako. The rally arriving in Mali for the first of 2 long stages. This particular stage finishing in Nioro. Lots of navigation, which will be difficult for some people, could catch some others out, could change the overall ranking. As the Dakar enters its closing stages, Still, there can be some changes in the overall standings. More soon.